Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at LIA, where he goes to another Melbourne City Council meeting to try to call out the mayor, and I will refute some of his claims. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep this channel going, so I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Aura. It's that time of year again. Stores are full of shoppers, and Mariah Carey comes out of her icy thaw to demand her tribute as always. And with us traveling and shopping online more, we need to keep our online security safe, and this is where today's sponsor can help, Aura. Aura is an online digital security that protects your data with 24-hour monitoring of your personal data, your credit, and make sure your data doesn't get sold off to data brokers. And with it being the holiday season, we do a lot more traveling, and we're going to be on public Wi-Fi a lot.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
And doing online shopping can leave your data open to data thieves and data brokers selling off your data, and hackers and scammers trying to get your info, but you can make your data safe. Aura is offering you a free 14-day trial by clicking my link, aura.com/NCR, or scanning the QR code. You can cancel at any time. So let Aura help keep your data safe this holiday season. That's aura.com/NCR, or scan the QR code, or click the link down in the description box and start your free 14-day trial. Thank you again to Aura for sponsoring today's video. And don't forget to sign up for your free 14-day trial. Not only is it one of the best ways to help keep your personal data safe, but it's one of the best ways to help support me and this channel. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Stream, appreciate it. We're coming to you live from Melbourne, Florida. Right here, this GMC Sierra, that belongs to the mayor of the city of Melbourne, Paul Alfrey. He has been running, if you've been following my channel, he's been running for me ever since I exposed his corruption, where he voted on a resolution and signed the resolution that gave $500,000 of federal money to Space Coast Habitat for Humanity, and then Space Coast Habitat for Humanity ended up using the mayor's roofing company as a subcontractor, paying the mayor nearly $10,000 of that federal money that he voted for and that he signed the resolution. So he's finally here. There's been 2 city council meetings that I've attended. The last 2 I've been here. That's really weird that the mayor, who lives here in the city of Melbourne, comes to less meetings than a YouTuber from New York that lives 1,000 miles away.
Now, he's not running away from you, Sean, because he's not afraid of you. The issue is he probably had somewhere else where he had to be. A mayor's duties aren't only obligated to being in the city and being at city council meetings. Perhaps he had to attend a conference. Perhaps he had to attend a business meeting. Maybe he had to travel out of state to talk to an out-of-state business about an opportunity for them to come to Melbourne, Florida, to open up, some businesses there to help benefit his city. That's the job of the mayor. Now, you're saying that, you're going to run for office. This is something that you might have to do and something you need to consider. To think that you are that important, that he's afraid of you, is just baffling. Because who are you really but a YouTuber, an agitator, a frauditor, nonetheless?
But again, he's here, so we will be speaking during public comment, so we're going to go do that right now. We're going to head over there right now. How you guys doing today? Please hit that like button and share this video any way you can on social media so it can be seen by as many people as possible. Appreciate all your support. Thank you all for the congratulations on 1 million subscribers here on YouTube. I really appreciate it. We have 450,000 approximately on Facebook, 300,000 on Instagram, 500,000 on TikTok. So we are growing, as we the people are growing as a platform. Hopefully I don't get thrown out again.
Don't what? Don't give me hope.
First time I ever came here, the law enforcement officers threw me out. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Got more stuff. Oh.
Yeah, I can watch it. I don't need it.
Yeah, it'd be good. Get belt on?
No.
Oh, you good?
And the sign-up sheet is with the officer inside, right?
Yes. Give it to him, but it's right on the wall right there to get one.
Okay. Want to make sure we sign up.
Thank you.
Let's see, we have our sign-up form here. There's the mayor right there. How you doing? I didn't fill it out yet. Here, I'll point that towards my direction. Today's date? Sorry. 25th.
Well, it looks like Sean's got him a new assistant, another young assistant to be exact. You know, my advice to that young person with him is be careful. Your employer or colleague there might be able to get you a lot of things, but not the experience you think. He might get you locked up. Ask what happened to his last cameraman.
The topic is going to be the mayor's corruption. Audit. And that's it. Thanks, sir. Yep, thank you.
Now we're going to jump ahead to the start of public comments where the mayor makes an address, and I will go over that, and then to Sean's public comment time.
We're going to move on to public comment.
Oh my God.
We have a handful. Real quick, I want to pass out to our council. As you know, I'm in civil litigation right now with, there's more pending litigation regarding a speaker, who's a paid, in my opinion, a paid agitator.
Paid agitator.
Now, and this is public.
My opinion, you're a corrupt fool.
So I'm going to go ahead and send this down.
A paid.
That's just for your copy later.
Actually, it's not my opinion. It's a fact. You're a corrupt criminal.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na
Shenanigans.
na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks, because Sean really hasn't shown us any real concrete proof of corruption. Yes, there is the allegations made by his late brother's wife and daughter of a misused credit card, but no real proof from that. Yes, it's being investigated, but the investigation is still ongoing and hasn't really shown any real proof of that. Sean's followers might argue, well, what about the money from Habitat for Humanity? Well, what about it? There was an issue with one of their contractors and he offered to help. He's got to pay his workers to go there to do the job, or he's got to pay for materials. Sean is trying to make it seem like the mayor is 100% confirmed to be corrupt without any real evidence. Calling the mayor a corrupt fool could open him up to a defamation lawsuit, which would be ironic seeing as he's filed one against the mayor himself because of his followers making death threats to the mayor on his official Facebook page and via email.
Again, that's public record. More than welcome to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and, since at the advice of my attorney, I'm going to step out of the room and give this to the vice mayor for other comments.
You're such a coward, man. He's such a coward. Look at him running.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Oh my God.
Okay, I have a Mr. Olby, Godwin,
Good evening. I'm thinking about getting a rental property out here in Airbnb. I think saved me a lot in airfare. I've been to more council meetings in this last month than the mayor, and the mayor, who is one of the biggest cowards I've ever met in my entire life, left again. If he wants to leave because the paid agitator is speaking, that's fine, but he should listen to the rest of the Melbourne residents.
Well, he's leaving because of the ongoing litigation. Because anything that you could say to him that would possibly provoke a confrontation could be used against him in court. Not to mention, the advice of his legal counsel is the best option here. Now, he is still going to be able to hear and address the concerns of his community and his constituents due to the fact that these are being recorded, and he can address them with the city council in a closed session. And then he can actually read the public comments. He can actually go over them and say, hey, let's address this. Let's take care of this. We'll fix Y. We'll take care of Z. That's what a mayor would do in this type of situation. But Sean wants to make this a performance piece because this is what he does at all city council meetings. He makes it into theater instead of actually trying to make a change.
I'm not a paid agitator. That's why he said, in his opinion, he's learned not to defame people because, like you say, you got death threats, Vice Mayor. He said that I sent him death threats on his social media account on his Facebook page, and I'm currently suing him for defamation. That's the litigation he's talking about. But I think it's a little ridiculous that you guys spent 30 minutes talking about, something, a he said, she said. I don't know if I believe you, Vice Mayor. I don't know. It's a he said, she said. She says that she was joking. She says she was joking. Whatever. But you spent 30 minutes, all of you, intently listening, debating, and talking. But you can't talk about anything that I've brought up, that I've uncovered. The mayor voted on a resolution and signed a resolution. This is not alleged. This is facts. I've presented you with the documents that gave $500,000 of federal money to Space Coast Habitat for Humanity. Space Coast Habitat for Humanity then went and gave the mayor, through his roofing company, Alfrey Roofing, almost $10,000.
Yes, the city council voted to giving federal money to Space Coast Habitat for Humanity to build some homes. And the money was going to go to a different contractor. However, there was an issue with that contractor. That Sean even showed us a text message exchange from one of the directors of Habitat for Humanity and the mayor about that situation. Allow me to show you Sean's own live stream where he shows us this evidence of corruption.
All right, so this is a text message in a text message group that the mayor was in. He's labeled here as terrible human. I didn't label him that, but I think it's very fitting for sure. Says, good morning, Jeanette Jarnes, right? Per our conversation last night, have Habitat for Humanity contact our office and speak to on scheduling future jobs. At John Miller was referring them to us, and he does not have an active roofing license, nor insurances or employees to complete the work. We complete Habitat's work now. Again, thanks for dinner last night, and we greatly appreciate this.
Now, I've always questioned how he got this text exchange because that wouldn't be something of public record. But the fact that the group had him labeled as terrible human is kind of sus. But if you look at what the text said, it simply stated that his company, Alfrey Roofing, would be handling the work that Habitat Humanity wanted to have done by another person because that person wasn't licensed or insured or his people were insured. If they used unlicensed and uninsured workers, that could affect the house. That could affect them from getting any other bids or federal funding. But let's take a look at more of this evidence that Sean has to show the kickback.
We see the money was sent to the Habitat for Humanity, where Paul's good friends with board members, ex-board members, current board members, a whole friendship. They're business partners together. He has tens of thousands of other jobs that I've seen, tens of thousands of dollars in other contract work from Space Coast Habitat Humanity, his personal roofing company, ladies and gentlemen. So if you go down here, you'll see who was a subcontractor on the $73,000 job here. This payout. Look at this. Alfrey Roofing. Interesting.
And
how much did the mayor get paid? Looks like he got $1,800 here, a total of $9,200, almost $10,000 he received. His company, which he runs, his brother, who is a 50% owner, has sadly passed away. So he runs it completely. He's kicked out his brother's wife. He's kicked out and locked out his niece, his brother's daughter, who were active participants in this company and helped work and make it flourish. But you can see here, $9,200, $1,800 balance due. And then you could even see here the check, a check amount for $1,800. And I believe there was 17. You could see the check right here. This is the check to Alfrey Roofing for $1,800. And I believe it was a total of, you can see there, a total of $9,200. So this mayor voted on federal funds going to one of his friends' outfits, Habitat for Humanity. He has ties there. At the very least, he has very significant ties through Larry Jarnes, Jeanette Jarnes, and he received what looks to me like a kickback.
And that's Sean's proof of a kickback. What looks to be an actual check for a actual job. You know, the $1,800 would more likely be a deposit put down to start the work, and the remaining funds going to pay him for completion of the work. Because the other person they wanted to use was unlicensed and and was not insured, this doesn't mean him asking and telling them, "Hey, we'll do the job for you," for Habitat for Humanity, doesn't mean it's a kickback. There's no true evidence of a kickback here. This is just Sean spreading more accusations and rumors to try to sully the mayor.
And Space Coast Habitat for Humanity has given the mayor over $50,000 in total that I can verify. Not of the federal money, but in general. When are you gonna actually acknowledge what's going on here and talk about it? I feel, again, you getting death threats or whatever, she said she was gonna kill you, whatever, he said, she said, irrelevant. The point is that you guys, that's your mayor, and none of you want to have a discussion about it. There's no motions to censor the mayor, right? You don't want to, you want to censure this woman, but you don't want to censure the mayor. You don't want to investigate it. The Melbourne PD is not doing anything. You just want to ignore it and act like it's not happening. It's ridiculous. And for the mayor to continually run away from these allegations, why isn't the mayor here addressing them? Saying he's lying, but he can call me a paid agitator when I have evidence of his corruption. He has used the Melbourne Police Department to intimidate his brother's widow and his daughter. He has done things that have been corrupt.
Dramatization may not have happened.
And has taken money from the federal government, and none of you, the city manager, none of you, the city attorney, none of you guys want to speak up about it and do anything about it. Why don't we have a little powwow and talk about that? Let's all debate on if your mayor is corrupt or not. I mean, would you vote on something? And then Larry Jarnes, you're a friend with him. I'm investigating it, so you're going to find out soon enough. But Larry Jarnes, the building developer, how many grants have you guys given him? Has mayor abstained from that too? Have you abstained from those votes? You're good friends with him, aren't you? You guys got to do better. Start fighting for justice for the people of Melbourne and for the people of America. Thank you.
Wow, that's a riveting speech that Sean is leaving out context from. You see, there was allegations that the vice mayor did receive death threats from another member of the city. And instead of having that person lose their job and positions, all he wanted was some common middle ground and ask for a verbal sanction where they would say, as the city council, that kind of talk and that kind of language would not be appropriate and would not be accepted by the city council or the city government. That seems fair. He doesn't want the woman to lose her job. He just wants, to say, hey, let's not do that again. And let's make sure we understand that that's not how we talk to each other. And to make the allegations that you're investigating this person and that they need to do this and that just seems more of Sean trying to intimidate another city council into doing what he wants because he's a so-called investigative journalist who has all this dirt, which really hasn't proved anything.
Of course, you don't want to talk about it. Right. I get it. Well, the mayor ran away like the coward that he is. That civil litigation he's talking about is because I filed a lawsuit against him in Brevard County, Florida, for defamation because he made a Facebook post that he's since removed saying that, he filed a motion to dismiss claiming he has immunity as the mayor. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that these city council members will continually talk about irrelevant, meaningless matters, or, maybe they're not meaningless, but they'll talk about trivial matters, but you don't want to talk about the mayor and his corruption. They spent if you've been watching since the beginning, they spent 30 minutes talking about this alleged death threat to the vice mayor, and she denies it. One of the city council people, even in the police report, says that it's a he said, she said type of deal. And they spent 30 minutes talking about it to censure her. But I've been here for weeks, for months actually. I've been here for months. Not been here, I've been traveling back and forth to Melbourne, the city of Melbourne, for months to try and expose, not to try, to actually expose this mayor for his corruption. I have the checks. Go watch the videos. I have the checks, I have the invoices, I have the resolution, I have the meeting minutes, I have everything that proves that the mayor is corrupt.
If you have all this damning evidence, why not take it to the Attorney General's office? Why not contact the Florida Bureau of Investigations or the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Department of Justice? You know, there's a lot of things you could do. Hell, you could even go and collab with the mainstream media. Oh, wait, you won't do that because you have an issue with the mainstream media as well. You know, you say you have proof, but yet what you show us isn't really any damning proof of corruption. And to say this is a he said, she said thing, that was maybe factual, but it's still a death threat. And the mayor's lawsuit that you filed against him isn't because he directly said that you made death threats. It was that your followers did. And you still denied that. Even though I've seen those threats, I've gone over that in length, that you keep denying that. You're supposed to be a man of peace and activism, but what you're doing is doing nothing more but showing us drama and stirring up drama. You're no different than any other drama channel.
And self-serving and engaged in official misconduct. And I know you're watching, Mayor. I get it. You're a coward, but you're a coward. At least listen to the residents here of Melbourne. At least listen to the people that you're supposed to serve as an elected official. But you won't, because you're a coward. You're so scared of me and what I have to say and my words. And then you change the rules that you have to be nice to city council members and the mayor. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. They hate free speech, especially free speech that exposes their tyranny and corruption. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have even proof. Maybe he didn't even work the job. I don't know. But the mayor owns a company called Alfrey Roofing. I have the check that's coming from the city of Melbourne to Space Coast Habitat for Humanity, and then the check going from Space Coast Habitat for Humanity to Alfrey Roofing, all from federal money.
So now you're saying that you can't prove that he did anything corrupt, but before you were saying he was. Sounds like you're flip-flopping there. And that whole thing about, you don't like the fact that you have to be nice to the city council or the mayor when you're doing these public comments. I wonder how you would feel if the shoe was on the other foot. Like if you did run for office and you did become, city councilor or the mayor of a city, would you implicate those same policies? Because think about it. People like me who are against frauditors would be able to go and address you because you are an elected official. You are a public servant. So the shoe would be on the other foot. So we're going to end it here, folks. Clearly, this was just Sean talking out of his ass with no proof, trying to stir up more drama, trying to provoke the mayor into a confrontation. So if you guys liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Don't forget to check out my second channel, the podcast, and don't forget to sign up for your free trial of Aura. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I will see you guys next time. And a very special thank you to all members of the news team. Without all of your support, I couldn't keep this channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. You guys mean the world to me, and I can never thank you enough. You guys rock.